Hello and welcome to Creator Weekly Live for October 6, 2024. I'm Peggy Kay, and today there are updates for YouTube Shorts. There is a new monetization program on Facebook. There's updates to Threads, news on what's happening with WordPress, and more. So let's get started. And the first thing I want to talk about is updates coming to Shorts. So the big news this week is that Shorts are getting longer, where you can now, well, not now, starting October 15th, you can upload vertical or square videos up to 3 minutes long, and those will be Shorts. So videos that are longer than 3 minutes will still be videos on demand. Videos that are horizontal will still be regular videos. Shorts are vertical and square, and starting October 15th, up to 3 minutes long. So this is apparently a really, really popular request that YouTube is implementing, and it's kind of comparable to TikTok, where they've been lengthening how long their videos can be. I wanted to mention a couple of limitations, though. The first limitation is that the YouTube Shorts video editor inside the YouTube mobile app is not updated yet. It will eventually support videos up to 3 minutes long, but for right now, the videos are only up to 1 minute long in the editor. The second thing is that any videos uploaded before October 15th will still be regular videos. So this is not retroactive, which could be good, it could be bad. And then the big change is that for these longer shorts, you can't use copyrighted visuals or music. So if there's a copyright claim, usually that doesn't make any difference. In this particular case, for the longer shorts, if there's a copyright claim, YouTube basically won't show your video anywhere. It won't be in the shorts feed. It won't be recommended. And the only thing you can do about that is to make sure you're not using copyrighted content. You can get music in the YouTube audio library. This is free to use and, licensed and so forth. You go to the YouTube audio library in YouTube Studio on desktop by clicking the music note on the left menu. And then if you're in the Creator Music Beta, you might have to scroll to the bottom of the page to select the YouTube audio library specifically. And then you see, a bunch of choices for music. You can do it by genre and mood and length and all those options. It does mean that these longer shorts can't participate in the sort of trends that are going around that use popular songs. So that is a limitation. And I'll note that I do have a short video and a blog tutorial that has more information and details. You can get a link to that and all of the updates this week in the video description. So check that out. I also want to say hello to everyone who is in the live chat today. I see Craig and Andrew and Jolyn. I'd love to hear what you think about this week's updates. And if anyone else is just lurking, please say hello. So longer shorts is the big update for the week, but YouTube also announced a number of other updates coming to shorts. And the first one is a set of changes that are going to make creating shorts, this is for shorter shorts, easier and more fun. So the first thing is templates. When you're in YouTube, in the mobile app, a lot of videos have the option to remix. if you're doing that on a short, you remix, there will be an option to use that video as a template. You can use the same music clip, for example, and so forth. And that idea is you can kind of get in on the trends. The second thing is that you can access clips from inside the Shorts camera, the video editor, again, in the YouTube mobile app. I don't know the details about this. YouTube hasn't shared the details. This is not available quite yet, but what they say is that it's going to make it easier to remix clips from your favorite videos, music videos, right in the YouTube Shorts camera editor. This is a change because I think most of the commercial music videos, for example, don't have a remix option right now. And YouTube says you'll be able to use multiple clips in your remix. So that seems kind of fun. And then they announced, as previously announced, there is going to be an AI tool. This is using Google's VO text-to-video model. This will let you generate backgrounds for shorts and generate clips up to 6 seconds long. So that will be interesting to see what people do with that. And that's not all of the updates. There are what they call community engagement updates. There's going to be a trends button. So if you're going through the Shorts feed, you can click this button. It says trends. It takes you to a trends page. You can find a trend and then you can jump in onto that trend. So that can help discovery of your video, of course. It'll be kind of fun. The other thing that I think is going to be really good is that you'll be able to see a preview of the comments on a short when you're in the Shorts feed. So right now, when you're going to the Shorts feed, you can see that the short has comments on it, but you can't see the comments themselves unless you click a little button. It'd be great to be able to see some of that while you're scrolling, because if you see a great comment, that might encourage more people to comment. So those are the updates coming to Shorts. YouTube didn't really share a timeline on when all of these will be available, but if they're not available now, probably soon. The last thing I wanted to mention is that there is going to be a new option for people who hate Shorts, where you see, Shorts, you're in the home feed on YouTube. You can click the 3-dot menu icon on the Shorts shelf, and there'll be an option to show fewer shorts. So you should see less shorts. This is temporary, so you may have to refresh that every so often. So those are the big updates this week. Jolyn says, I'm not enough of a creator to even use shorts or longer shorts. You might consider it. If you're thinking about uploading to YouTube, it sometimes can be really easy just to upload a short video. It's vertical, so you can use your phone camera. You might give it a try if you feel creative. It is limiting, though, because if you're trying to pack in a lot of information, 1 minute isn't very long. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what comes out of this longer limit, maybe more storytelling, maybe more information. We shall see how that goes. So I wanted to go really quickly through an update on what's happening with WordPress. It's still an entire mess. As I talked about last week, WordPress, and when I say WordPress, I kind of mean Matt Mullenweg, because he is the CEO of Automattic, which is the parent company of WordPress.com. He is one of the main directors for the WordPress Foundation, and he owns the WordPress.org website, which is where you go to update your plugins and templates and themes and all those things. He's really upset with WP Engine. Seems like the main thing he doesn't like is that he thinks that WP Engine, which has hosting for WordPress websites and they make plugins and other tools, he doesn't think they're giving back enough to the WordPress open source project. So he wants to kind of force them to do that. And the way he's doing that is saying that they are infringing the WordPress trademarks. So it's really complicated. And one thing that we've been talking about this past week is how the WordPress trademarks are set up. It turns out the original trademark was with Automattic, a company. They gave the trademark to the WordPress Foundation to manage. Great, right? But then the WordPress Foundation licensed the trademark back to Automattic for commercial use, exclusive commercial use. So it's like the WordPress trademark was the Automattic company to the nonprofit WordPress Foundation, and then they licensed back all the commercial rights to the trademark to Automattic and WordPress.com. And their attorney wrote a long post about how this is set up and how they are saying it's okay to write something on your website like, I'm offering web hosting for websites using the WordPress content management system, but it's not okay to write something like WordPress hosting. So this has bigger implications beyond this dispute with WP Engine, because there are tons of businesses that offer WordPress hosting. There are plugin developers that use WordPress in the description or even the title of the plugin. This whole dispute has big implications for the entire WordPress ecosystem, which is, I think, why people are following this so closely. And what we saw last week is that Matt Mullenweg removed WP Engine's access to WordPress.org, which meant that no one who was using them for managed WordPress could update their plugins or their themes or anything like that. They then gave a reprieve of like 4 days and said, okay, now you have a few days. You can take all the information you need from WordPress.org to set up your own system. And that's what WP Engine did. And then they lost access to WP Engine, to WordPress.org. I'm getting all muddled here because it's complicated and confusing, especially since all of these WordPress entities are Matt Mullenweg. He is the head of all of them, and it's weird how they are interacting with each other. I think this is going to come up because WP Engine, filed a lawsuit against Matt Mullenweg specifically and his company, Automattic. Now, Andrew mentions powered by WordPress is seen everywhere. It's true. WordPress, the content management system, powers something like 43% or 47% of active websites on the internet. It's huge. And part of that, I think WP Engine would argue, is because there are all these businesses that offer services. So if everyone had to self-host WordPress and manage everything manually, it would be much less popular than if the situation is the way it is now, where you can go to a company and say, hey, I want to set up WordPress for my enterprise website, and they take care of all the technical details. So WP Engine has sued Matt Mullenweg and Automattic. You can read what they filed. I don't know about the legal merits, but it's kind of interesting and entertaining if you read this about all the shenanigans. They are suing for unfair competition, extortion, libel, slander, and some other things. It could get ugly. And what they're saying is that there's a symbiotic relationship between WordPress, its community, and the businesses that invest millions to support WordPress users and advance the ecosystem. This is based on trust in the promises of openness and freedom. Matt Mullenweg's conduct over the last 10 days has exposed significant conflicts of interest and governance issues that, if left unchecked, threaten to destroy that trust. Again, I don't know about the legal merits, but that's a bold statement. And I think it's complicated because people don't want to root for this big company. It's making millions of dollars. But on the other hand, the way Matt is behaving is really hard to defend. And apparently, this has also been a problem inside Automattic, the company. They did some sort of realignment, and anyone who disagreed with what Matt was doing was offered a severance package to leave. And apparently 159 employees took the severance package. That is close to 8 or 9% of Automattic's employees, and most of them were in the WordPress division of the company. So I know Matt has been posting, oh, look, more than 90% of people stayed, but I think 9% of employees deciding to leave is actually pretty significant. So this is some unhappiness inside Automattic as well. And the latest shenanigans, just the past couple of days, there is a plugin called Advanced Custom Fields. This is what a lot of advanced WordPress sites use to customize their site. This is a plugin that is maintained by WP Engine. Now, this weekend, or it was either Friday or yesterday, Matt tweeted, oh, we found a security vulnerability in this plugin. If it's not updated and fixed within like 30 days, we're going to remove it from WordPress.org, which means that anyone who had installed the free version couldn't easily update the plugin. The problem is, of course, that WP Engine's employees who maintain this plugin have been blocked from signing into WordPress.org, so they can't actually update it. They have set up a completely separate update system, but it requires users to first do some manual steps that might be complicated for some people. And this is ugly because usually if there's a security vulnerability discovered, you reach out to the developers and they give them some time to fix it and update it. Instead, Matt just said, oh, we found this right now. People should stop using it. And then there's no option for the developers to even update it. So that is bad. And I think that's the kind of thing that's making people upset about Matt's behavior, that he seems to be on some kind of crusade against WP Engine and isn't actually thinking about users and their security. And this is probably going to be worse before it gets better. And I've seen some rumblings of especially bigger companies moving off of WordPress because this is not reliable. So we'll see what happens. And I'm sure there'll be more news in the coming weeks and months. I'm going to shift gears just a little bit, but before I do that, I'll check the comments. It's really great to see you all. I also hope you all are having a great weekend. I really appreciate you spending part of your Sunday with me. And I know you guys are busy and you probably want to do other things on Sundays as well. It's been so hot here in the Bay Area for the past week. It's been like 100 degrees every day. Today it's supposed to be 102 degrees, and I'm just kind of dying from the heat. And if I wasn't doing this, I probably would be just sitting someplace cool. So I do appreciate that you're here with me. Thank you for doing that. All right. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is whoops, a really nice update from Facebook for people who are monetizing. And monetization on Facebook has been kind of complicated because they had 3 separate monetization programs: in-stream ads, ads on Reels, and a performance bonus. And as they mentioned in their article, there are some creators who were eligible for one of these monetization platforms, but not the other monetization options. And what they're doing is combining all these into a new content monetization hub. So it combines all these monetization programs. It makes it easier for some creators to be eligible for all of them. So once you're in the program, you can monetize posts, image posts, text posts, reels, longer videos, all of those things. And then there's analytics and insights on all those different types of content. So this seems like a good move for people monetizing on Facebook. It is only in beta right now. It should be expanded at some point, but if you're interested, follow the links and you can submit your interest and they will let you know when you may be eligible. If you are on Threads, like I am, there's a couple of really big updates this week on Threads. The first is that they added a 15-minute edit window. So if you post something and there's a typo, you got it kind of wrong, you can now fix it, which is great for me because I post with typos all the time, especially when I'm posting from my phone. The caveat to this is that if you are sharing your posts into the Fediverse, there's now a 15-minute delay. So they could normally post to the Fediverse, and then if you edit the post, they could push this updated post, but they haven't set it up that way. The other update is a Fediverse update where you can now see who is following you from the Fediverse. So previously you could see people like and comment on your posts from Mastodon or wherever they are, but you couldn't see your followers. Now you can block those people if you want to. And I think it's actually kind of neat to see. That's really tiny. You probably can't actually see that picture. But on my Threads account, I have 11 followers in the Fediverse from 8 different servers. So these are people from all different communities that are following me. That's really pretty neat. And what is missing now is the ability to do the reverse. So people in the Fediverse can follow your threads. They can like, they can comment. People on Threads can see that and then engage with those comments or like. But what you can't do is follow people from the Fediverse inside Threads. And that is the next step to make this really a mutual back and forth. So I'm looking forward to when that happens. We'll see. Jolyn says, I can't access my Instagram or Threads account. I never received the texted code. Well, that sucks. I know there are problems with this, and all these big companies, they don't provide much help if you can't actually get into your account. It's really frustrating. In some cases, it works to tweet at them, though, so you might try that. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is an update from Google search. And one of the things that has been really frustrating with Google's updates to search is that they want to provide people information without them having to actually visit any websites, which is maybe good for users, not so great for the people who run the websites and want people to actually visit them. So there were a bunch of search updates this week. There's actually some neat updates for using Google Lens to do a search from videos, and you can use your voice and all these things. The thing that I am talking about, though, is the new-ish Google Search AI overviews. So you may have seen these. You do a search, they use their search AI to generate an overview of answers, and then there are links to the supposed relevant websites. What Google has been testing is a new design for these AI overviews. This new design has links to the referenced websites much more prominently displayed within the actual overview itself. And what Google says is that they have seen that this has improved the experience for people using AI overviews, and they claim it has driven an increase in traffic to supporting websites compared to the previous design. And people are finding it easier to visit sites that interest them. Based on this, they are rolling out this experience globally to all countries where AI overviews are available. So this is hopefully better for people who run their websites that are the basis for these AI-generated answers. There's always a bit of skepticism when Google talks about this, though, because they don't actually share any numbers, and it's probably going to vary a lot based on the type of search people are doing. Are they looking for something to buy? Is this a shopping query? Are they looking for pure information? Let's see. My own experience with the AI overviews is that they are often not quite correct, in part because they don't understand the nuance of the websites that are being summarized, or sometimes they don't actually take into account the quality of information on different websites. So I find that if there's an AI overview, I need to actually go look at the source. All the source websites. Doesn't save much time, but a lot of people don't do that. Let's see. Craig asks, how do you get into the Fediverse? Well, the Fediverse, it's a Mastodon mostly right now. And so you can set up a Mastodon account on your favorite server. Mastodon.social, I think, is the default server. And it's another social media site. Of course, the vibe is different than on Twitter or on Threads. Every place the vibe is a little different. You might check it out, but if you're not really into social media, it may be a little bit much. Let's see, I have 1 minute. I didn't have time to talk about this, but there is kind of an interesting update in Google search where creators, if you search for someone well known, you see a knowledge panel, and Google is labeling them as content creators in a specific field. So it's kind of notable that Google is now seeing that as maybe a source of expertise. There's more discussion in this week's newsletter. You can see a link to that in the video description. You should subscribe. You get it in your email inbox every Saturday. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Immediately after this, we're going to do 3 tips in 10 minutes over on the eBoard channel. There will be an Automattic prompt for you to join if you're interested. It's 3 tech tips that hopefully you can use. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you next Sunday.